Okay, September 1st cannot come soon enough when the borders to Colombia are reopened to Americans. Hopefully. So in this video, we're speaking with Ed Richardson again to get more information from an expat who lives in Medellin on what it's like to get there, live there, just daily functions, and more details. This video will be broken into 3, and this is part 1 of 3 on moving to Colombia and moving to Medellin, Colombia. Follow along. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. I am here again with Ed Richardson in Medellin, Colombia. I want to say, hey, Ed.
Hello.
Okay, Ed is my man in Medellin. So this right here is going to be your ultimate guide to visiting Colombia and visiting Medellin in specific. So number 1, we're going to go over quite a list. Once I saw Ed's list, I threw away my list and I took his list. And what I'm going to do is we're going to do this video all at once right now, but I'm going to have to split this into at least 2 videos because it's a lot of information. Most people don't have this much time to sit still for one time more than 15 minutes. So I'm going to cut it up into 2, maybe even 3 videos because this is the ultimate guide you're going to get right here for visiting Colombia. Let me tell you, I've seen a lot of videos where, they give you information on visiting Medellin and visiting Colombia, but I'm telling you, we're going to hit a lot of points. I have another video that I've done prior. I'll also keep a link to that. That's my number 1 video. I was just telling Ed of all time of anyone who has visited all of my site and went through all of my videos. That's the number 1 video. And it's entitled, I think, My First 5 Weeks in Medellin, Colombia, where I just sit down and go over the details of my experiences so far. But with Ed's experience being there for a long period of time, he's got way more information than I do. So we're going to give it to you right now. So let's just jump right in, Ed. There's a few things off the list that I pulled prior to be considered things you need to know before you go. Okay, so let's just jump off. I'll rattle off each one and you give me your feedback on each one, okay? So first, and we just talked about this with number 1, before you leave, get color copies of your passport and you get color copies of your credit cards as well. Is that right?
Yeah, front and back, just in case of emergency, something happens.
And you can carry your, instead of carrying around your actual passport with you, you can carry around that color copy. Maybe even want to laminate it. I don't know, shrink it to the same size, laminate it, stick it in your pocket.
Yeah, I would laminate it and carry that around and use your original, keep it in your room when you travel.
Yeah. And most people don't know also, and we don't have this on the list, but you do need your passport to check in most Airbnbs and hotels. You will need to give them your passport. So when you get there, it's not unusual to have them ask for your passport.
Right.
And some places hold it for a bit, don't they?
They don't really hold it, but they will ask for it.
Okay.
And,
Yeah, they took mine, I don't know, maybe at least 20 minutes I stood there while they registered me. I don't know. When I first started going overseas and people started asking me at Airbnbs and hotels for my passport, I felt like that's kind of personal. What do you need? What are you writing down my information? But it is normal. So get used to it. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna jump to is travel insurance, right? What's your advice on travel insurance?
I think in most of these countries, because of the pandemic, you're gonna need travel insurance to get in just in case you get sick or whatever. So I would buy the travel insurance either on the internet or you can buy it when you're booking your ticket. It's in there, but I would read the policy thoroughly before I sign up for it.
Yeah, so
but
that's
once you book your ticket.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Once you book your ticket, you'll see down there they ask you before you actually get fully charged if you want travelers insurance. And you take that and keep it, take a copy of it or keep it on your phone or something.
Yeah, I've seen it before, but I didn't know it was health insurance also, but there's probably a subcategory to that. Maybe once you choose it, it asks you that. I've never taken it. So.
Right.
Okay, so here's another big one too, and I do this every time before I go. I do this way in advance. Most times you can do it online, but if you happen to be at your bank, let your bank know ahead of time that you're going to be outside the country and where you're going to be outside the country, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they want to know where you're going to be and how long you're going to be. And most of the time, your cards are good for up to 90 days.
Okay. Yeah, I tell them specific day I'm going to be here to there. And when I went to Europe last year, I had to say, okay, I'm going to be in London from Friday to Tuesday the 13th, and I'm going to be from the 14th to the 18th in Croatia. Then I'm going to be in Amsterdam for these days. And we had to let them know where we're going to be each time so that your card is, good when you get there. Okay. So these are all things before you leave. Okay, here's one we talked about before, learning Spanish, right? You want to know some Spanish before you go. Certain phrases, like, and I went over before, if you speak no Spanish at all, you need to be able to say, ¿Dónde está? Okay, where is? Right. Okay, if you can't say ¿Dónde está? Don't go, really. If you don't, if you don't learn that much Spanish to be able to say ¿Dónde está? Don't go. At least learn that, because that's where is. If you can't say where is, ¿Dónde está el baño? Where's the bathroom? During your trip, you're going to need to know where the bathroom is. And I'm going to tell you. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
¿Dónde está taxi? ¿Dónde está taxi?
¿Dónde está a lot of things?
Taxi, so
what you need is key phrases. Maybe I will do a video on key phrases that you need to know before going to a Spanish-speaking country, because we discussed this in our last video. Most people there don't speak any English at all. So don't think it's easy. Don't think like some places you can go to the tourist area and they speak more English, because you can go to Poblado and walk around a tourist area and they still don't speak any English. You may get lucky and they speak some, but like you said last time, you can speak English if you wanna. They're gonna answer you back in Spanish anyway.
Right.
So.
Right.
You suggested an app last time. What was the name of that app? To learn Spanish?
It's an app called Mondly, M-O-N-D-L-Y.
Mondly, M-O-N.
D-L-Y.
L-Y. Okay, and I also use one called Duolingo. So there's two options for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a
and you can go to YouTube, and YouTube has a lot of free videos. You can learn basic Spanish there, YouTube.
Yeah, everything's online, and if you think it's not that big a deal and you can get by because you know a lot of other people and a lot of other expats are there that don't speak Spanish, it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. Right. Don't think you're going to walk up to women and start, hey, what's your name? It's not like that.
Right.
You need to speak some, and you'll probably get connected if you can go to a place like Sweet George Cafe or another expat hangout or something. Maybe you can go and, they can send you to people in certain places. Like I found a dance instructor that way, or, where the English meetups are. You can find it that way. But for the most part, you need to learn some Spanish, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you recommended before you go for your first time that you stay at least 8 to 10 days. Why'd you choose 8 to 10 days?
Well, 8 to 10 days will give you a flavor of the city. You can go on some tours. You might want to take a trip to Guatapé, which is an hour and a half away. So that's why I said 8 to 10 days, because I think when most people come here, they're going to like it. And they're going to wish, if they come for 5, they're going to wish they had stayed 6 or 7 or 8 days.
Yeah.
And when I travel to another country, I always give myself at least 8 days.
Okay.
Because if you're dealing with the jet lag or whatever.
That's true. So you get there, and depending upon the time that you get there, you may get there at midnight, which most of my flights didn't get there until late at night. So
late at night.
Okay, so
coming in.
So here's one you have. Oops, unplugged my laptop. Here's one that you put condition of your passport and expiration date. What do they need to know?
Well, I think your passport needs to be in very good condition, because I saw a video where these 3 girls came to Colombia, and one girl had an imperfection in her passport, and they let 2 in, and the other one had to go back.
Wow. Yeah.
She could not come in. I mean, it was a crack or something in the paper or something. So you got to keep your passport in very good condition.
Wow. So imagine going with 2 other people and you can't get in. You can't stay.
Right.
Not good. Okay. So Make sure that you have at least 6 months worth of time on it, right?
Right. I was going to mention that. 6 months. You got to have at least 6 months of time left on your passport before you can come in any country.
Yeah. I don't even think they may not let you leave here if you don't have 6 months. Is that on U.S. side or the countryside? Do you know?
On the countryside, but sometimes the U.S. might not let you leave if you have less than 6 months.
Okay.
But they will warn you about going to another country without 6 months. They will let you know.
Yeah, because something can happen and then it's not valid. Now, I think they're overlooking those things now because of the virus. If you happen to be stuck in another country right now, they're overlooking it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right.
But for the most part, that doesn't happen. They don't, and they're going to fine you if anything, right?
Right.
Okay, so getting to Medellin. For me, I'm in Houston. There are no direct flights. And if they are, they're so expensive, I wouldn't think about paying it. I have to go to Miami and transfer, or I have to go to Fort Lauderdale and transfer, or somewhere like that. How do you get here? Do you have a straight shot from California?
No, I have to go from San Diego to Houston, Houston to Panama, Panama to Medellin. Or I can go from San Diego to LA, LA to Panama, Panama to Medellin.
Yeah, all things a lot of times end up through Panama. I've been to that airport and stuck at that airport for like 8 hours before. I know that airport in and out. I don't want to get stuck in Panama. Or Mexico City also has a transfer too, but the layover is so long, I think you almost have to stay overnight.
Yeah.
But do your research. How do you look for flights?
I fly United, but you can go on the Travelocity and look for flights that way. But just so everybody know, if you in the New York or New Jersey area, you can get a straight flight on JetBlue from New York to Medellin.
Oh, really? Okay. And the same for a lot of places in Florida also. And the airport code for Medellin is MDE if you're looking for flights.
Right, if you're looking for flight.
Yeah, I use Google Flights, and it's like the easiest one for me because you can pick where you want to go, round trip or not, pick your cities. You can say, I have one piece of luggage or no luggage, or you can say how many transfer points you want to go. You can get as specific as you want. And then when you go to the dates, it shows you the price per date. So you don't have to redo it every time to change the dates. You can see.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. I'll write that down.
Yeah, if you leave on Monday, it'll say, okay, it's $5.89. But if you leave on Thursday, it's $6 something. And they even color code them red, yellow, and green. So for the green is the lowest price you're going to get. And that's Google. It's another free app you can have also.
Okay.
So let's get right into the meat of it. So staying up to 90 days. You can stay up to 90 days without having a visa, right? You just get the stamp in your passport.
Yes. Right.
So what's the process? You can get it extended by another 90 days with no fee or no penalty.
Right. You can get extended 90 days, but I suggest that they go in at least 7 to 10 days before that 90 days expired, because if you go in too late before that 90 days, the fee is, they charge you a fine of 400,000 pesos.
Okay, is there a service that takes care of this so you don't have to go to Bogota?
Yeah, you can go, I think you can go online and you can extend your visa past 90 days. Okay. Yeah, a lot of guys here they do that. When they stay longer, they just go online and check in, put in their passport number, and they just extend themselves.
Okay.
So you only get a total of 180 days a year in Medellin. So you can basically come in June, stay 175 days, and then go out and come back the next year and start all over again.
Exactly. So if you wanted to stay in Medellin for a year, you can do it. Just get there July 1st.
Right.
July 1st, stay the 6 months, stay 3 months, extend for another 3 months, and then it starts. Now, what happens for people who do that? Excuse me. What happens on January 1st? Do you have to go to the airport, or do you have to get? I mean, how do they know? I guess they know you're there, but do you have to do anything?
Well, I know a guy that was here, Eric from Harvard. Eric came and he left just before Christmas, and he went to Argentina, and he came back to Medellin, and he got stuck here during the pandemic, and he's still here because they haven't opened the airport yet, so he can get out. So he's been here over a year.
So you think they should leave the country before the end of the year, and just
Oh
go?
yeah, they better leave. Yeah,
So,
you gotta leave the country.
Okay,
you gotta leave the country.
Oh, okay, so you can't just stay. So you have to leave
No,
like at the
no.
31st, 30th, come back on the 1st or 2nd.
Oh yeah, you gotta leave. You gotta go somewhere. So most people just leave 2 or 3 days ahead of time and get out, and then come back, a week later in the new year or something.
Okay, so in Asia, in Southeast Asia, they call that a border run. You leave Vietnam, go to Cambodia.
Right. You go down to, right.
What's the closest border, driving wise? Do you know? Ecuador or Venezuela?
I would say Venezuela. And that's a long way. Venezuela, a long way.
But you can catch a flight, right? You can catch a flight. You'd be there in a couple of hours. I know there's a airport at the border.
Venezuela got restrictions, so you can't fly into Venezuela. It's very expensive.
That's true. Now it's a little different. I'm thinking of a normal time. So now, yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So Panama, maybe. Ecuador.
Right.
Ecuador is expensive.
I would say Panama.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
flight.
Yeah. Okay. So so you land in Medellin. Again, airport code is M as in Mary, D is in Delaware, E is in Edward. And you're at the airport. Do you get pesos at the airport?
Yeah, what I would do is pesos are expensive at the airport, but I would just get enough for a taxi or whatever. So I would exchange maybe $100 and get pesos. You're gonna lose some money, but you need pesos because you need to pay the tax. So you come out and you see change places right after you come out through immigration. You see them right there.
Cambio.
Or you can, right.
Another word
Cambio.
for you. Yeah.
Cambio. Change. So if you miss coming out of immigration, then when you pick up your bags, there are people there too. You can change your peso.
Mm-hmm. And you can do it at your home airport if you leave at a reasonable time when things are still open.
Right. You can do it at your home airport.
Yeah, for here it's Intercontinental, and I know there's places there. I'm not sure about Hobby, but here at the big airport, there's definitely places where I've gotten changed before. But we talked before we started recording that you suggest bringing some cash, some U.S. dollars with you.
Yeah, I suggest bring some cash.
Okay, you said 500.
Yeah, 500 because you don't know what might happen. You might lose your credit cards and something might happen. You need to back up. But when you're here, you wasted your time going to the bank changing dollars. I know people that still do that, but that's up to them. They bring more money and.
Yeah, I came with I think a couple $100. Never used it. Never used it. The whole time I was there, left, came back, never used dollars. So it's not like some countries where you go in tourist areas and they will take your dollar. They do not take dollars for the most part. You need to have pesos. So
also, one example is like when I was traveling back and forth to Bangkok, Thailand, your dollars have to be immaculate if you change your dollars. If you got that little blue line through the dollar, they will not take it. So I would get crisp dollars from the bank with none of that blue line. It's a long blue mark across it. In America, it's okay, but in other countries, they won't accept that blue line through it.
What blue line is that?
You'll pull out a $100 bill. See, when you go to countries, the bigger your denomination, you get more of the currency for that. So I take 50s and 100s. But on that dollar is a long blue line that you see. You just look at a $100 bill or $50 bill. In America, they have a market with a blue defect across the $100 or $50 bill. If you take that to Thailand to one of the exchange centers, they won't take it.
So how do you get it without the money here?
You go to the bank and you tell the bank, I need dollars with no lines on it. If you got a $100 bill with somebody wrote some numbers on, they will not take it. So be cautious in these countries. They will not take them.
So you're saying, but that blue line is done by the government, but it's put on there on purpose,
The
right?
government does it in the U.S. and the people who are in the U.S. they know it's an official dollar, but in other countries they don't know that. So when you go to exchange it, they won't take it.
So you don't mean the one that goes north to south, do you?
No, the one that go horizontal. Horizontal.
Now, I have a 50. I'm gonna go check that out later. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
check it out. Yeah, because they're real strict.
Okay.
And so I end up bringing those back. So before I leave, I go to the teller in my city, and I said, I need so many $100 bills, no lines, no writing on them, no nothing. It got to be crispy, even if it's a little tear on the edge. And I know you've seen that. They will not take them in Asian countries. I don't know about Colombia, but they won't take them here because we don't really have to change it here. But you go to Asia, you're going to need American dollars.
Okay. So there you go. Crisp money. Don't take any torn money, any beat up money. Mm-hmm. Chances are they're not going to take it when you exchange. And it's not, my experience is like we just got back from Guatemala a few months ago, right before the lockdown, and we tried to change money. It's a process. You don't just walk in and go, hey, here's so much money, and they give it back to you. You know, you got to fill out forms. You need to have your passport. Right. You have to have your passport to do this exchange also. So don't think don't go there. And I've made that mistake. I've gone without my passport, or we went without a passport and couldn't exchange the money. So make sure you have your passport. You have crisp money. You have to fill out the forms. You probably have to wait in line. They bring you up to a teller. It's normally not like a regular bank, right? I don't know what it looks like there, but there's like a cambio exchange. Yeah.
Right. Not a copy of your passport, not a color copy, but the original passport when you change your money.
Absolutely. Okay. So now, so you've gotten pesos there. Now, okay. So, well, which is better? Because that's one of the questions you wrote. Which is better, U.S. dollar or Colombian peso? And you know what?
In Colombia, it's best to use pesos. Once you exchange them, everything you do here is mostly cash, unless you go to a restaurant or something. You go to a restaurant, you'll use a credit card. And when you use a credit card here, make sure that here in Colombia, if you at a table and you're eating, they come to your table with the machine and they do the transaction right in front of you. You can watch your card so nobody can steal your numbers and all.
Mm-hmm. There's another thing that other countries are further advanced on technology when it comes to that. Our countries was supposed to implement that 2 years ago, where you did not have to release your card. They brought the credit card machine to your table, or you were at the bar where you can see it and you swipe it and you hand it back. Canada's been like this for years, but for some reason America is behind the curve. And you'll give them your card here in the U.S. and they would disappear with your card. You don't know if they swiped it twice somewhere else.
Right.
So keep your card in sight. So I'm going to look up right now what the peso is right now. $1 is
3675. 3675.
You looked yesterday.
I looked a minute ago. I don't.
Oh, it went down.
Okay, whatever.
3621.
Okay.
And that's 3,621.65. So that's 3,621 peso to $1 US. Okay, and that's gone down. And months ago, it was what, before it broke down? I saw it as high as 42.
It was 42. Yeah.
Now it's 36.
We went out and stocked up when it was like that.
That's another thing. When the peso is high, buy the money and hold the money, because in case it goes down, it has more value if it goes down.
Yes.
Against the US dollar. And now for some reason it's gone down to 3.6. By the way, 3,000 or any thousand is called a mil, M-I-L.
Right.
You would think it's million, but it's not. So
a mil.
10 mil or 10 mil is 10,000. Yeah.
Right.
It takes some getting used to. Check out my video. I'll leave a link on the currency. The rate is off. I just told you what the rate was, but I'll show you the currency, show you the coins. You're going to get a lot of coins. And you're going to get so many coins, you're going to realize that those coins, big old coins, probably have like a 6 cent value. And you're going to have a whole bunch of 6 cents And I would just save up the change and give it away. I can't pay, especially, you know, I feel the pressure when I'm buying something, and I don't want to hold up the line counting out, what is this? This is 7 and a 10 and they're saying it in Spanish, and you get stuck up. Just use the dollars, and you're going to realize that you get stuck with a whole lot more in coins. And then just give it away to, you know, the dancers or whatever at the light. There's not a lot of beggars in Colombia. They do something at the light. They put on a show. You know, watch my video on that too. They put on a show at the stoplight. They don't really just stand on the corner begging. They sell candy, and it's minimal. You know, they may cost 1 cent, and you have those coins. So give the coins away. Really, don't get, especially if you don't speak Spanish, don't get caught up using the coins because you don't know what they are anyway. Then you may get one that says 5 mil, but for the most part, you know, they're going to be something smaller than that, 25, 10. So it's like the equivalency of 3 cents, 6 cents, 8 cents. To them, they use because things cost less there. But for us, we're never going to buy something that costs 6 cents. So you're going to find that you have a big bag full of heavy coins that you're not going to want to bring home. Give it away unless you want to bring back some as souvenirs. It's going to get heavy. Okay. So, and here's another thing, and I suggest, this is not on the list, but I put this on my other video. If you have to go to the ATM, do it at a mall. It's the safest place to exchange it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 side by side. There's a guard there. You know, every ATM, I don't know if you notice, has a little mirror so you can look over your shoulder. But if you know, don't go to El Centro, don't go downtown and use an ATM, which I had to do one night. By the way. I got stuck. I got stuck like chocolate.
Yeah, do it in the mall if you can.
Exactly. So what? And you have one here. Banks that you recommend. What banks do you recommend? Is the exchange rate different on each one?
No, it's just that, you know, they're more likely to accept your credit card. So the major one is Bank of Colombia. Bank of Colombia. They are huge here in Medellin, and they have ATMs everywhere.
That's what I use. So, and it's Banco Colombia.
Bank Colombia. Bank Colombia.
Yeah, there's no K, so it's like BAN and then
C,
Colombia.
BANCOL. No K.
Bank Colombia.
Colombia.
But there's no K, but yeah, they're everywhere too. So that's why most of those ATMs are almost what's the one on 33rd, like 4 blocks from Sweet Georgia. They saw a lot of like a block off that the street that the cafe is on. That was my spot. Now some places will say if before you go, and we haven't gotten to that, which credit cards or debit cards, because I know what is it, Scotiabank is supposed to have one of the best rates for cards, and you get points back. It's an international card, right?
Yeah, Scotia. If you have a Citibank, you can go to a Scotiabank here and withdraw money. You just need to let your bank know you're coming here. That's all.
And the rate is better for a Citibank card?
I don't know about the rate. I don't really check the rate, but I have Citibank, and they're very popular in Thailand, but they're not. They closed down here, so instead of going to Citibank here with the Citibank card, you go to Scotiabank, and they exchange your money with your debit card.
Okay, and I will say this: there are not that many Scotiabank ATMs or banks, and they're tiny. Also, there's one around the corner on the opposite side of 33rd. There's one up the street. Next to another bank too. There's like 3. You know that one where there's 2 ATMs and 1 ATM. Side by side. They're 2 separate banks. But
when you come here, the people you meet, like the guys you meet, especially the Americans, they will take you to show you where the ATMs are.
Please comment and share if you like the video. We have a YouTube channel. Like it. Please subscribe and kick the bell.